Let's move on to this question from a listener in Appleton, Wisconsin, who writes, I wonder if you could explain why some prophecies have been literally fulfilled, but will also be fulfilled again. I'm thinking of the captivity of Israel and how some people returned under Ezra and Nehemiah, but not all of Israel has returned to the land. I know there are those who claim that all prophecies have been fulfilled, but it would seem that the conditions for Jesus' second coming have not been fulfilled yet. Could you discuss the issue of the fulfillment of prophecy?
Well, let me say that prophecy can be divided into two parts, that which has been fulfilled and that which is not fulfilled. Now, a great deal of prophecy, I think it's estimated about 2/5 of the prophecy that has been given has already been fulfilled. The other has not been fulfilled. Now, apparently your thinking was in connection of prophecies concerning the nation Israel. Now, God predicted that they would be put out of the land 3 times, and they have been put out 3 times. He predicted they'd be returned back to the land each time. They have not been returned the last time. They were put down in the land of Egypt and made a nation. God later on sent them into Babylonian captivity. Now that prophecy was fulfilled as far as God was concerned. They returned and established the nation again, rebuilt the temple, and worship was restored, and people came, Jews that did not return back to Israel to live, came back 3 times a year as the law had stated for them to. And now the third prophecy is the prophecy that the Lord Jesus gave about. He made the prediction that Jerusalem, that not one stone would be left upon another, but that they would be scattered throughout the earth, but they are to be restored and to be returned. Now, a great many people, including myself, at first thought that their return back to the land back in 48 was the fulfillment of prophecy. But I'm convinced now that that was not a fulfillment of prophecy at all. When they return this next time, God will bring them back into the land. And when he brings them back into the land, you can be sure one thing, they'll know that it's a fulfillment of God's prophecy concerning them. So that I don't think you could break up, as it seems to me from your question, that you're inclined to break up the prophecy concerning the Babylonian captivity because they didn't return back to the land, and because they didn't return back to the land, that you seem to think that means only it was partially fulfilled. No, not all of them had to return. Actually, only about 65,000, it's estimated, returned, and then later about 3,000 to 6,000 came back into the land, so that you don't have 100% return. Even when they left the land of Egypt, if you remember, there was what was called a mixed multitude, a large company. In other words, some Israelite had married some Egyptian girl, and some Egyptian man had married an Israelite girl, and their children. Now, which way are the children going? Well, a lot of them returned, and they were called a mixed multitude. But a lot of them did not return. But as far as the prophecy was concerned, it was fulfilled as far as God is concerned, so that you have a fulfillment of prophecy. Now, this present return, it seems to me, is not the fulfillment. They just haven't gone back, and the things haven't happened that the prophecy said would take place. I thought great things were going to take place. They actually didn't. But that's yet in the future and will take place after God's purpose in the church is concluded.